all of us have something that we do not like. Even if it's a little, tiny little thing, or something from our physical aspect, or even from our personality, there's always something that's bugging us that's always like at the back of our minds, and we feel like we don't like it that much or we do not accept it that much. Some of us have more problems like with more things we don't like from our bodies or from our personalities. Some of us are also could be like we are happy with ourselves and we like the way we are. But it's something I really want to talk about because it's something I had dealt since I was a kid, and actually not talking about physically but more personality like. But I think it doesn't really matter, like even if it's like with personality related to or more like physically, there's always something we do not like that much, we do not accept from our body, from our personalities, from the way we are. And it's kind of hard to really accept ourselves the way they are, like that's the way we are, and to realize that we are perfect. We are perfect the way we are, even with those flaws, with those things that are not exactly the way we want it to be. At the end of the day, that's actually what makes us unique and special. And that's perfect. That's actually perfect. Why do you want something exactly to be like that way or that? No, like we are perfect the way we are. And that's something I really want to talk about because well, physically, I do not have really much trouble, but more related to my personality. So maybe for some of you, it might be different. It might be more like you have, I don't know, problems accepting your body, that you don't like your body or you don't like your face that much. Something in your face could be like your nose, or I don't know. There's always something that you kind of like do not accept that much. If you are not like that and you really have like high self-esteem and you like everything from your body and personality, I'm very happy for you. That's great. But if not, I really want to encourage you to really motivate you to realize about how perfect you are, how wonderful, unique, and special you are, and all of us are, each one of us. We are just perfect the way we are. So, like I was saying before, physically did not have much trouble, but then like in the personality likewise. I had something since I was very little, I had always trouble with. And part of that had to do with my family, more specifically my uncle. And yeah, I was very little, still like a kid. I don't remember how old exactly I was when that started to happen. But he used to call me, or he used to say I was very slow. He used to criticize me a lot, almost like all the time, like, oh, like, you're very slow doing this, like you do this like that way, and why are you doing things like that? And I felt all the time so criticized and not really valued for him, and that really affected my life in big ways that I know I had implications, influence in my future as an adult, as I grew up, as a teenager as well. Like that has had a lot of influence in my life, and that just started small, like from him. Fortunately, it was not my dad. Had it been my dad, it would have been like worse. But still, my uncle was a very strong figure in my family from my mom's side, and that was very, very hard for me. It really hit me, and it came to a point where I did not want to be at home sometimes, or to my uncle's home or my family's home when he was there. Sometimes I didn't want to go there, and I tried to avoid the times to go visit my family from my uncle, my mom, because I did not want to see him. I did not want to deal with that. I was really traumatized because of that. And that was just how it started. I started with those things from my uncle because I really felt very criticized because I was very slow and I was not the person he wanted me to be. I was not like fast enough. I was not like, I don't know. I was also very quiet and a very calmed person. I still am. But I think that was kind of like bother him sometimes, and I felt always like that was something that really we struggled with. And of course, like that's something that started with him, and then with people also, like from, I don't know, at school. Like I started seeing those patterns also, like from some people that did not like that part of my personality. So it was something I had to start dealing with, because I started believing that I was too slow, I was too calm, I was too quiet, I was too silly and clumsy sometimes. Because of that, I felt very clumsy, very silly, and sometimes felt kind of stupid, especially when I would talk to those people, because I was like, I don't get what they're saying, and they feel so mad at me because I'm that way. And it was something I kind of try to hide after a while, and I didn't like for myself, like trying to analyze myself. Okay, why am I like this? I came to a point where I went to a psychologist. I was like a teenager or something, like 16, 17, something like that. And something very useful at that time helped me realize that actually that was not a problem. She told me it was important to accept that I was that's how I was, that's how I am, that's my personality. And if there's something you don't like from your personality because you are, I don't know, too impulsive or you are a certain way, that's the way you are. And you have to realize about the positive thing about it. You are special way because of a certain reason, and you can take that you can take advantage of that in a very, very good way. And that's something that I realized about it. And that way I started to accept myself and do like different exercises, because she told me like, you're calm. That's something not everybody has. Like many people are like stressed out all the time and dealing with different things. That's the way you are. See it as something positive. You are also not slow, like you are exaggerating because of that idea that had your uncle in critique that he put in your head. You are just different, and it doesn't mean that it's bad. It does not mean that it's wrong. And it made me reflect upon myself and my personality about so many things. And that's something that I have been like dealing with now that I'm an adult, grown up. I have really realized how important it is just to accept yourself. Like the more I started to accept myself and say like, that's the way I am. I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna try to be someone else. I'm not. I'm not gonna be to be like super fast doing everything like at the same time and do things like exactly how other people want it. I'm just not cut for that. It's like a different type of person for different kind of people, but not for you, because I have a different kind of personality. I have different type of talents as well. I'm more like a creative, different type of person. But depending if I have a specific purpose for that. So I'm not just the kind of person just like do things for doing. I always need to have a reason. And then once I have the reason and like a good motivation and like, okay, it makes sense to me, then I start doing. I can work perfectly in so many ways. But it's just different way to do things from other people. And I learned that. I studied myself. I realized about how that good for me is. For other people, it might not be okay, but for me, it works. And when we're all together in a team, you cannot behave and act like everybody else. You have some talents, you have specific traits, and that's your contribution. That's what makes you special. And that's like your special contribution to your team, to the world, to the life, right? Everybody contributes in a different way, very special way as well. So you cannot expect to be and contribute exactly the same way other people do. And yeah, that's something I learned. And I think it brings so much happiness, so much. This is like a big change in your life when you really accept how you are. Like, yeah, that's the way I am. And you know what? Actually, after I had anxiety, that was also something that made me realize about it a lot. Because I was not calmed anymore. I think I said it in a different video as well. I was not calmed anymore, and I had this impulsive personality, and I got this kind of behavior that it was just not mine, and it was so horrible. It was so not healthy, and I really missed how I was. I was like, where is the calmed girl that was before? Where is this little girl that I used to be? I used to be so happy, do not worry about many things in life, and that's so peaceful. And if other people are jealous because you are that way and they cannot understand it, whatever, you are happy, you are okay the way you are. It's just different. Yeah, I realized about that. Once I got into the patterns and behaviors of a different personality, like with anxiety and with the survival mood, it felt so not right. I was like, I want to bring the calmness back to my life, to the peaceful person I used to be. And also includes like different traits of my personality. And now I'm getting that back again, and it feels so good. It just feels so good to know that's the way you are, and it's good, and it's because of a certain reason. You have to acknowledge that you have to accept that that's something good for you. You are just perfect how you are. I remember talking to other people sometimes, and some of them, they would be like, "Oh, how can you be so calm, or how can you be so happy the whole time, and how can you be so like optimistic?" And they were like, I like being with you because you are like that, and we feel like kind of peace. We feel um, like it's more peaceful being around you. At the time, I did not see it as a compliment, but after having dealt with anxiety and all of that, I see it as a compliment, and I'm trying to get it back because I'm like, that's the way I am. That's my personality, and that's actually something good. It's really good. What before it seemed to be bad, to me now, I accept that is actually pretty good. So that's something I really wanted to share because I think it's life changing when you really accept how you are. You can also be just how you are. You are not conditioning yourself every time you're going out and like, okay, I'm not gonna be too slow. I'm gonna be like trying to be like this and like whatever. I started thinking like a while ago, like I'm not gonna care about that. It's gonna be the way I am, and that's it. If it's good for me, then it's good. Of course, you're gonna try to contribute the best way you can, right? But do not try to be something you are not, and accept yourself. You just accept what you have, how you are. It's okay, and it brings a lot to the table. It's necessary, it's relevant. And even if other people don't mention it or don't say it, they don't have to say anything. For you is what matters. You do that for you, and as long as you see the good thing in it, that's all that matters. So I want to share some extra tips in order for you to maybe like work on this better, to help you accept yourself in a better way, to love yourself the way you are, to realize really that you are just perfect the way you are, love yourself, and realize about how wonderful you are. So 3 tips I want to share with you. The first one is to acknowledge your flaws and what you don't like. It's like in my case before when my uncle used to tell me all the time I was slow. Other people used to tell me as well, like, you are very slow in a very negative way. And that that situation made me even slower. And I did not want to say that I was slow. So like, no, that's not the way I am. And I was trying really, really hard to be something I was not. And the more I pushed it, was like the more clumsy I would become. And the more uncomfortable I would be with this kind of people. So much I would always try to avoid contact with them. So it came a time where I started going to psychology later, and then later like learning about so many things about the spirituality, and then surrendering, and then like all my life experiences, life in Germany and everything. And I have been realizing about how good that is to me. And yeah, I am slow in some things, not in everything. When I accepted, actually, when I accepted and I said, yeah, I am calm, I am clumsy sometimes, I'm slow, and I am shy sometimes, depending on the people I am with, and reserved sometimes. Just different kind of personality, and it's my personality. Once I realized about it and I really accepted it, I said like, yes, that's the way I am. That's how I am. I didn't fight anymore to say, no, that's not how I am, or I am the opposite, or I'm gonna show people I'm not that way. I'm like, I'm just gonna accept it. Actually, that's the way I am. That's true. That's the way I am. So that's the first thing. Like once you realize about it and you accept it, because you kind of realize about it, but you don't want to accept it. Once you stop fighting with it and you accept it, it brings like peace in your life. So yeah, the first one is to acknowledge that, like say, yeah, that's what I have, that's the way I am. I am slow to a certain point, doing different kind of things. In certain kind of activities, I can be very fast and very efficient, and I work perfectly. But sometimes I work slow as well, and I recognize that. And I have realized that actually for many things I do, it's better because I do things like in a very good way. I can work like also calmed, and I do things the way they should be. So for certain things, it's good, and actually in a good amount of time. It's also not like I'm gonna spend forever doing that kind of things. No, for certain things, you need to take a bit more time and really have a bit more focus, and that's something I can do because of my personality, and I'm happy about that. So once I acknowledged that, yeah, that's the way I am, then I started accepting it. You have to accept it and say, yeah, that's the way I am, and I take it. Don't reject it, don't push it, don't try to change it, no, because that's the way you are. You are like a whole package with good things, with bad things, maybe like bad things actually not that bad things, but sometimes you see them as negatives. But it's a whole package. You are not the positive without the negative, right? Like it's always like a balance, and you cannot push the other thing without like having influence on the other side as well. So instead of just like fighting with it, you accept those things you don't like that much, and say, yeah, that's the way I am, and I'm not gonna fight it. I take it. And once you do that, the last thing you should do is to embrace it, to really adopt it and take it in your life. You say like, yeah, that's actually how I am, and I'm gonna see the positive, the good things in it. Like I said, like being slow in certain activities and certain things brings also like a lot more calmness in my life and helps me be more efficient in certain activities. Not all activities, but many things that I do in my life, I have achieved that, and I can work very well because of that. So I work, it's funny because I can work kind of slow, but at the same time very efficient. Because it's not like doing like things very quickly at the same time. At the end of the day, you realize you haven't done anything. No, you do things in a good way. So it's just a different way of working, a different way of being, different from other people, and it's okay. And it doesn't matter if other people do not accept it or if they criticize you for you. For me, that's fine. I have accepted and I see the positive in it, the good things in it. Also about being so calmed. I appreciate so much being so calm, and I'm like, yes, that's the way I am. And actually, that's what brings me peace, what brings me happiness. And being before in a different state where I was very anxious and unhappy and impulsive and in survival mode the whole time, this survival mode is horrible, and I really missed being the calm person I was before. Now I got it back, and I'm like, okay, now I have it back. I missed it so much. And once you do not have those things, it's when you realize how valuable they are. They're actually good traits, they're actually positive things. They could have some negatives, but depending, it always depends. And depending on how you do it and how you use it and how you use those traits, they can be actually your strengths. a positive thing for you and something that's actually help you improve your life. And without it, I would not be such a unique and special person as well. And that happens to everyone, every person, each one of you. And I'm sure all of us have like specific traits, specific things, and we cannot judge others because they're different. They have their own way of doing things. They have also like special, specific features, specific traits in their personalities, specific characteristics in their bodies as well. And yeah, everyone is just perfect. Like, and also physically, sometimes I have friends, they say, yeah, I don't like this part of my body, or I wish I could have more of that, or whatever. Fortunately, I haven't had much trouble with that part, and I have no problem with my physical appearance at all. I think I like the way I am. For me, it's fine, but I see it sometimes in people, and I'm like, why? It's like, you have this. That's the way you are. That's something gorgeous. That not everybody's that way, and that you have to take advantage of that. It's like seeing all of my friends, and I consider all of them. All of them are just so beautiful, so pretty. It's like, and it's like, yeah, we are unique and special. All of us, each one of us, in a very special way. One of them is maybe a little bit taller and has like more curves. The other one is a bit slimmer and then like has a flat stomach, whatever. And then the other one has like, I don't know, perfect face, beautiful eyes, and like amazing hair, whatever. So I don't know, each one of us has something very specific, very unique that makes us very special. And that's what I really think it's important to recognize, to really acknowledge, and that's why accept yourself as you are, because you are perfect the way you are.